It is possible to be forgiven by the Lord and yet be unwilling to forgive others. This is the sober warning in Matthew 18. In verses 29 and 30, the Lord tells us that the forgiven slave's fellow slave fell down and begged him, saying, "Have patience with me, and I will repay you." But instead of forgiving, he refused. He went away and threw him into prison until the debt was paid. This brother was not a sinner. He was not an unbeliever. He was a saved one. The Lord is not dealing here with the world, but with believers. He is dealing with a brother who was offended, yet who was unwilling to forgive. This is a very serious matter. Many Christians assume that once they are saved, everything is settled forever. But this parable shows us that salvation is not the end of God's dealing. It is the beginning of the kingdom life. The brother in this parable had been forgiven an enormous debt. Yet when someone owed him a small amount, he refused mercy. According to God's mathematics, our debt to the Lord is immeasurable. Any offense against us is small by comparison. Yet how often do we insist on remembering it, rehearsing it, holding onto it? According to God's reckoning, to forgive is to forget. But many believers forgive only outwardly. Inwardly, the account is still open. This unwillingness to forgive causes us to lose the practical kingdom life today. Verse 31 says that when the fellow slaves saw what had taken place, they were exceedingly grieved and went to explain everything to their Lord. Our unforgiving spirit does not affect only us. It grieves the other brothers and sisters. When we refuse to forgive, the church senses it. The atmosphere changes. The joy is gone. The supply disappears. Others may even bring the matter to the Lord in prayer. Unforgiveness is never private. It always affects the body. Verse 34 says something many Christians do not like to read. And his Lord was angry and delivered him to the tormentors until he should pay all that was owed. This does not refer to eternal perdition. This refers to the Lord's disciplinary dealing with his believers. The one delivered to the tormentors is still saved, but he is under the Lord's governmental hand. The tormentors represent the Lord's discipline, inner suffering, pressure, unrest, loss of joy, and divine dealings. This discipline lasts until the debt is paid. And how do we pay the debt? By forgiving from the heart. This is forgiveness in the kingdom. This parable also points to the Lord's coming kingdom. If we do not forgive our brother from the heart today, we will not be allowed to participate in the kingdom in the coming age. This does not mean we lose salvation. It means we lose the reward of the kingdom. Many Christians believe that as long as they are saved, there will be no future consequences, but the Lord himself says otherwise. You may say, "I have never robbed a bank. I have lived a righteous life. I haven't hurt anyone." But the Lord may say, "You did not forgive your brother from your heart." Do you think such a person is practically living in the kingdom? In Matthew 18, verses 15 through 20, the emphasis is on the offending brother needing to repent. But in the parable, the emphasis is on the offended brother needing to forgive. Both are required for the kingdom life. If we offend someone and refuse to repent, we are kept out of the kingdom. If we are offended and refuse to forgive, we are also kept out of the kingdom. Often we think we are in the kingdom, but according to God's reckoning, we are not. The test is very practical. Are we willing to repent? And are we willing to forgive from the heart? Throughout the years, this has been one of the greatest problems in the church life. When a church is newly established, everything is wonderful. There is joy, there is excitement, there is a honeymoon. The saints say, "How marvelous it is to be in the church. We have come home." But as time goes on, offenses arise. This is unavoidable. Because we are in close contact with one another, offenses will happen even unintentionally. Even in marriage, offenses are unavoidable. There is not a single couple that has never offended one another. The same is true in the church life. After visiting churches over the years, the same pattern appears. At first, smiling faces everywhere. Later, silence, unhappy faces, withdrawn saints. When asked privately, many say, "I was offended, I was hurt, I cannot forgive." Sometimes the elders say, that brother offended everyone. But the real question is not who offended whom. The real question is, are we willing to repent? And are we willing to forgive? When one side refuses to repent and the other side refuses to forgive, the church life is finished. The saints may still meet, they may still sing hymns, but the kingdom life is gone. God sees beneath the surface. He knows what is hidden. We may meet as a church outwardly, yet inwardly there may be no kingdom reality. Unwillingness to repent and unwillingness to forgive both cause the kingdom life to vanish. This is not a small matter. This is not optional. If we claim to live the kingdom life today, we must forgive from the heart. Otherwise, we lose the enjoyment of the kingdom now and risk discipline in the age to come. May the Lord grant us a forgiving heart, for the sake of His kingdom, His church, and our own participation in the coming glory.